Good evening. We are Bobby and Patty Dwyer here to welcome you. Many of you here tonight have been with us from day one, and you all understand the journey, and we are so grateful to you for still being with us. There are many of you who are relatively new to this, and we want to welcome you. No matter what your role is, you have experienced cancer in some way. We're here to say that this is one experience and effort that will help everyone in this room in one form or fashion.
One great thing about the Randolph Ellis Dinner is that it's been celebrated for 31 years, and I've been fortunate to be a participant in 15 years of those. And it is interesting how you can see patients or even loved ones continue to return year after year.
The dinner idea was John's. It was about 2 years after he had been diagnosed. He decided, he said, I need to raise money to fight cancer. And what he did, he went to the people who owned the Trellis restaurant in Williamsburg, down on Merchant Square. John convinced them to close the Trellis restaurant for one night, and John was able to use that. All proceeds went to fight cancer from that event.
And of course, John, being the founder of this, when he passed away, Bobby here refused to let it go. It was very, very important to keep it going, not only for the cause, but to remember and honor John and Maynard in their journey. Years later, when I was diagnosed with my cancer, Mark Ellis came into the picture as my oncologist. And as soon as Mark heard of my diagnosis, he said, okay, I'm your doctor, and this is how we're going to do this. And as we all know, unfortunately, he passed away of the disease. And so then it became really important for us to add his name to the event.
I really love Dr. Mark Ellis's approach to kind of focusing on the whole patient, on the whole body, the whole family. And I really think that that legacy continues on in how we care for our patients. I always tell my patients, you know, you're not just cancer, of course. You're not a bone marrow, you're not lungs, you're not kidney. You know, you're a whole person, and every system affects the other. And the way that we treat you is the same way. You know, we approach that. We're not just giving you chemotherapy and just focusing on that one thing. We look at your numbers, you know, looking at the blood work, but we also look at how are you feeling? You know, how is your family doing? What kind of stressors are going on in your lives? How can we help to relieve some of those stressors? And I think that that's really where the foundation comes in, because they provide that ancillary support that we might not necessarily be able to provide from a medical standpoint.
I watched Bobby and Patty last year speak to the folks in the audience at the dinner. And I decided right then, I said, you know what, I'm gonna help them out. I said, you know, I've been knowing them for a long time. They're great people and they work so hard, and I just wanted to be a part of what they were putting together. When you give and you donate money to this, it stays in the community and it's gonna help the folks that need the help.
Being treated for cancer is a very, very difficult thing to go through on a normal basis. So what the money can go to, for example, would be to help someone with day-to-day issues, transportation, helping to pay some bills that they might not be able to pay. Just being alive, you know, they're so focused on surviving. Riverside Cancer Care also helps them to live.
This memorial dinner, it also celebrates not just the people who have survived cancer, but it also recognizes families and friends who have also been affected by this horrible disease. You know, unfortunately, in the U.S. right now, probably approximately 1 in 2 men and 1 in 2.5 women are diagnosed with cancer at some point in their lives. And one thing to remember with this dinner is that these funds are to help support not only the patients, but also the family that supports the patient.